Hi, everyone, and welcome to Hot Off the Mess. I am your host, Samantha Bush, and today is usually a day where I recap Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but since we didn't have a new episode, but of course we have no lack of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills drama, I decided to bring in my bestie. He's also a Bravo-holic and a skincare entrepreneur, Ivan Saenz. Hi, Ivan.
Hi, Sam.
Oh my God. How are you? Are you so excited?
I'm good. This is such a nice little reunion.
A podcast reunion for the ages. Many years ago, we had a podcast. We will not be saying the name.
No.
That should be scrubbed from the internet. We truly recorded from our beds.
Yeah, we were in the trenches. But it's
we were fighting for our lives.
Yeah. I always said that you had like the best voice, and I still stand by that. And so I'm glad
that is so kind.
I'm so happy to be here. This is going to be so fun. I have so many little fun games and quizzes and things.
Ivan, let's discuss this. So normally, a guest comes on. I have like an outline, usually loosely prepared. Mm-hmm. But Ivan was like, no, we got games. Like I have games. We have giggles to talk. And I'm like, what? What does that mean?
Well, once Beverly Hills was canceled, I was like, we need to make this exciting for people, worth their time.
Yeah, because we were going to talk about the Aspen trip.
Right, but we didn't get that.
But
we will have fun games, and I feel like people will like some of the questions I have, because I feel like you discuss all the episodes weekly, but there's more in your brain. There's more information there to be poked and prodded and shared.
Okay, well, before we get into your games, I just want to talk about what's going on in the Bravo Cinematic Universe right now, and that is that people are coming for Garcelle's child in the comment section. And I don't, do you understand like where it began?
No, but I would even correct that statement and say that it's not people, it's bots. And I would say it's like one individual person who's like taking this on, but yes, overall, it is the appearance of many people attacking Garcelle's son with like wildly racist.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. I don't know how one would even go about purchasing bots, and like, it's so bizarre to me, and I don't understand really like where it began. I feel like it started with Diana talking or posting screenshots of like a conversation, like a text conversation. And then it became Lisa Rinna, and then it became this. And it was...
Yeah. I don't understand the origin. Like, assuming that it's Diana, which clearly we don't know, but people are speculating on the interwebs. Like, I don't get why Garcelle would be the subject of that versus, like, a son.
I don't either. It's very weird. And her son, like... I feel so bad for him. He's like 14 years old. He's starting school. He made like a whole Instagram story about like what's going on. And he's like, this is not okay. Like I'm being harassed online by fake bots.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even make sense. Why
and people are upset with Bravo for taking in their minds too long to come out with like a statement of some kind. And I just want to remind everybody that Bravo is a corporation. Like at the end of the day, like this isn't like mom and pop, like, this isn't the Pioneer Woman. This is Bravo. Yeah. And they're owned by NBC. Like they can't just like say anything immediately.
For sure. Yeah. It's like, not just like the social media person who gets to like whip out their phone and be like, actually, I'm going to talk about this thing.
No, it's nothing like that. And it's like, I'm glad they said something. Of course, I wish there was maybe something said sooner, but that's just not the way the world works. And of course, I thought to myself a few days ago, I was like, how come the girls of Beverly Hills like aren't saying anything? I was shocked by that. But then I really thought about it and I was like, maybe Bravo told them not to, because they're like, we have a statement coming. Please don't add any more fuel to the fire.
Right.
I don't know.
And oftentimes these women can't be trusted to say the right thing. Like, especially over something so delicate. Like you would think that they're evolved enough to say the right thing. But I mean, come on, be real. Like,
but they're not.
There's a very high possibility that they would be harmful in an attempt to help.
Yeah. I mean, even Lisa Rinna in her original statement days ago, like brought in other people's kids. And I'm like, no. Like you can just focus on Garcelle's son right now. Like you don't, I get it. Like Amelia and Delilah have gotten like their fair share of like, hate, but like this was
next level.
This
and
was
he's,
over
and
the top
the age
horrible. And
difference
he's
is
14.
Exactly.
He's literally a child. So it makes me sick. And everyone's saying, do you want Diana at the reunion? What are your thoughts, feelings, comments?
Do I want her at the reunion? Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
people are like, I don't want her there. I'm like, thank you, Ivan. I have been seeing all over the place, like, she better not show up to the reunion. I'm like, are you guys okay? I'm like, I want a confrontation. I want her roasted on a spit.
I want Brandy Redmond to walk on stage with a chair and put it in the middle and say, you have to sit here, like she did in Dallas. That's a very weird throwback. But
I love that. Was a deep cut.
But I want that level of like, we're going to eviscerate you on the spot in this one chair.
Do you remember when Brandy Redmond got COVID and they didn't even get her like a lamp to sit in front of, and they put her on like a TV?
Maybe you guys had the same producers that wouldn't give you that selfie light.
Oh my God, seriously, I had to beg for a ring light. I was like, please. But you know what? He said that he just thought I didn't need one, so that's like very sweet. But if I'm gonna be on YouTube's, please, I need to be lit up. I even moved my desk. I moved my desk in front of the window to give me like something. I was looking truly like a corpse.
I'm doing the same right now. What other thoughts? Sorry.
What other thoughts?
What other thoughts do you have on Beverly Hills? I want to hear
right now.
Because I have some comments.
Yeah. Oh, please share.
So a funny anecdote is, I love Garcelle more than anything. Like I feel like she is my favorite housewife in an extremely long time. Like I'm obsessed. It's next level. And the other day I tweeted, if I had to save either my mother or Garcelle, I would thank my mom for raising me as I lowered her casket. And I knew that could be perceived as insensitive. So I was like waiting for people to respond, like, this is not cool. But nobody did. Everyone laughed. Everyone retweeted. So I was like, oh, we're all on the same page. Like we would all we would all make the same choice.
Yeah. Like that's the power of Garcelle, honestly. Like, because you know what? It was a risky tweet, Ivan. It really was. Obviously, I loved it, but I was like, there's going to be a fucking person on the internet and be like, my mom died. Like something. Like, and that didn't happen. And that's just honestly the power of Garcelle. And okay, quick. Oh my God, this just came to my mind. What are your thoughts on Cherie? Because she posted a happy birthday to Diana yesterday. In the midst of all of this, and I'm feeling a little friend jumper. I'm feeling a little, I'm not liking it.
Yeah. So she posted one story and 2 comments on the actual post, which is excessive. Even if you're trying to remain cordial and just do the bare minimum, 3 is excessive.
Yeah. Also, I don't even comment on like your happy birthdays.
No, absolutely not. You don't even wish me happy birthday.
Yeah.
But also Garcelle is so into loyalty that the idea that you would do this, like, to what cost? Like, they're not even that close. It's not like she's sacrificing, like, another real friendship. You know what I mean? It's like, this is another stranger you met, and you're sacrificing this, like, 10-year, 15-year friendship. It's not okay.
I know. I wonder, so let's say Diana does come to the reunion, because in Dubai, obviously, I really haven't been watching, which is my bad. But I'm excited for the reunion because it looks really good. And Lisa says to Caroline, you're Jeffrey Epstein's book. And I'm curious if at this reunion for Beverly Hills, like Diana's connection will be brought up.
I don't know. That'll be interesting.
I mean real dark.
I don't think she plans on coming back. So I could see her skipping because she's like, I don't necessarily care about this paycheck anyway. I don't care about whatever. Like, I'm gone. But I don't want her. I want her to show up. Course. Me
too. And she fumbled Asher's bag. He was about to get a record deal probably from the show. And they're like, we don't want to touch him.
Yeah.
Remember when he looked at... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, it's really not important.
Neither is mine. So I have a theory that the reason there was no Beverly Hills episode this week is because the producers/editors were waiting to see what the audience response would be. And are going to carefully craft/edit the Aspen episodes accordingly. Because they're in a tricky position, as Kathy's like by far the fan favorite, and Rinna and Erica are the most despised. yet they have this juicy drama in Aspen that's potentially going to hurt their star. It's like, how do they handle that? I'm sure there's been many a meeting about it, but I think they were like, why don't we just give ourselves like 2 weeks to like see what audience reactions are and edit accordingly.
Like give people time to like cool off maybe. I don't know. And Rinna posted a video over the weekend, I think. I don't know. All of my days are like blending together. It was maybe Monday, where she was like, I've said way worse things on this show and I haven't received this much hate. But I'm like, yeah, but we're sick of it now. Like that's the point. And you're also, and it's also just like really transparent. Like it's just not.
Yeah, or it felt more, I don't know. It's so out of place now. Like she's just yelling in her backyard for no reason.
She's like, yelling in her backyard. And I am sick, Ivan. I am sick and tired of her businesses and her launch parties.
It can't be real. It can't be real.
It can't be real. Rinna wine, Rinna rosé, it cannot be real. It's no Ramona Pinot.
Also, why wouldn't you try to make it authentic? Like, I feel like there needs to be like a business coach on these shows where they can be like, hey, like, if you really want to sell this, like, you have to integrate it into your life in a very real way that people respond with. Like, you can't just be whipping these out every 12 months. And like, it's not authentic.
I mean, it was like very Cynthia Bailey. Like, I was getting really sick of Cynthia towards the end because every season it was like sunglasses, backpacks, like, remember that like modeling academy?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Ladies, leave your jobs at home.
Yeah. When Kenya looked at that girl and said, I can see her coochie crack.
I also love being here because I know you love Kenya. And I feel like that feels like a safe space for me.
You love Kenya too? Are you Team for all?
I do, for sure.
Yeah. I love Kenya. We have a friend who hates her. Like, no matter what she does. she could save like a child from a burning building and he would be like,
she could cure cancer.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be right. Do you have any final thoughts on Beverly Hills?
No, I did have I feel torn sharing this, but I had written a note where I was just talking to myself.
You are so prepared for this podcast. Like, I'm shook.
I had like a joke about like the Garcelle bots and then someone confronting Diana and then Diana be like, oh, I thought they were saying I should bot something and I love to buy. Because that's what she used last time. And she was like, I don't understand. She's like, buy.
She's like, yeah, she doesn't understand, or she tends to use it seems, to get out of things. Yeah. So I always find that really interesting. Like, remember when she thought like dark men, like, and I was like, Diana, you're.
It was like thematic dark versus skin colors. Like, I'm sure. Ugh, so I have a note that said nouveau rich, more like nouveau bitch, but I didn't want to say that part.
And I'm telling you, he is like so prepared for this podcast. It's amazing. Like, I am truly drooling on my computer. Like, I don't know what I'm doing every single time I'm on this podcast. And Ivan's like, I have an outline. I have games. What are okay, so Atlanta, I feel, is going through a transitional period. And I don't know what to make of it. I don't know who to keep. I personally feel we should keep the cast maybe the same, maybe get rid of, this is going to be a hot take, but get rid of Sheree and bring in like Portia.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that would be a bunch of all-stars.
It would just be Atlanta all-stars.
Yeah, which I'm for. I love Atlanta, and I feel like for some reason it bothers me less when they give me less. Like, I feel like I don't get as angry as with other shows, maybe because they've paid their dues and have had such phenomenal seasons. And I am enjoying the season. I feel like I really love the Kenya Marlo feud because I feel like they can actually go toe to toe.
They can.
I just wish it was something more substantive because, like, if you were to ask me what the storyline for this season is, I'd be like, dunking on Drew. Like, I don't.
Dunking on Drew is the storyline. Like,
it's the seventh cast member.
Every week, that woman just embarrassed herself, and I love it. Like, I don't want her going anywhere. I thoroughly enjoy like laughing at her because she doesn't get it. Like, she's not in on the joke. She's not in on anything. So I'm enjoying dunking on Drew, and I really love Sanya.
Same. Not a single person working on that show, whether it's on camera or behind the camera, likes Drew. Nobody, the editors, the producers, like the castmates, you can tell, and that's what sparks so much joy. But back
I
to
know.
Sonya, I like her too.
Yeah, when they did that side by side of Drew at the beginning of during when she said she lost 25 pounds, you would never see me again.
No.
Like, I'm trying to imagine in what world like my producer on this show like did a side by side of me like I would kill myself.
Yeah,
Like you don't understand. I mean, I would die. Like that it took me back. Do you remember in Orange County when Shannon Bedore like stood in front of her trainer?
Yeah.
And let her belly hang. And he just goes, "Wow." And he just kept going. He was like, "Whoa. We got a lot here. Whoa." Like, that's how I would feel like if someone ever put a picture of me like that up. I would feel like everyone was collectively just going, "Whoa."
That was at least on her own volition versus this was like,
she
thought, she was like, I'm killing it. I look so good. And the editor's like, we think not. we doubt that.
And they don't live in that house. Like, there's just no fucking way Ralph and Drew live in that empty McMansion. They go back to Kim Zolciak's old condo. Like, they cannot be living there.
And she has like 4 assistants allegedly. From where?
And then
For what?
And then he was like, I want you to meet my editor because I don't want you to think anything's going on. It's like, she doesn't just think that for no reason, Ralph. Like, you said you were going to give this woman a massage or something. Like, I love them.
This book is the strangest storyline. Every time it comes up, I cringe. I want to like.
I don't fully get it. I'm like, you're writing a book about being a stepdad, but you said you're going to adopt him, but then you chose not to. And now you're going to write a book about it. Like, I don't.
I feel like that should be a chapter, and that's like what not to do.
Exactly. Kids. And they're just they're an interesting couple. Really, they truly hate each other. Drew hates him. Drew he finds her repulsive.
Yeah. Even if my partner was writing a book and I disagreed with it on camera, I would pretend to be like support it so I could like so we could get to whatever. She is like shits on the book like every episode.
It's to his face. She's like, I don't get it. This sounds really dumb. And he's just like, actually, he's the worst. He's such a nerd. I looked up his job recently on Google, and it was like he produces kids' music, like lullabies.
That's a red flag.
I feel like he doesn't do that.
No.
He's not making kids' bops.
No, absolutely not. Can we talk about when Sonya and Kenya were having their back and forth, and Kenya was like, name one time I've done that. And Sonya was like, let me think. I was like, you just need to pack your bags up and go home. Like,
no, like if you're going to come for Kenya, like you have to come with your ducks like in a row. Like you have to be ready to go, ready to roll, like ready to fire things off.
The little ducks with little rifles, equipment, like the whole
little
thing.
military ducks.
Yeah, you need your little military ducks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and so for her to like stumble, I was like, Sanya, like this just, first of all, I don't think that Sanya's personality to like read people, which I kind of like that about her, but like then don't come for Kenya. Period.
No. The devil himself.
Although I don't really get Kenya's problem. If someone was 2 hours late for like an event, I would be so pissed.
For sure.
Okay, I'm really intrigued. I really want to get to these games because I just don't know what you have for me.
Okay, so before we go to the games, can I just give you my thoughts on Dubai?
Oh, please share your thoughts.
Because I know I've seen your thoughts. I've seen it on the gram. We've talked about it. So 2 things.
My thoughts are like, I really don't have any.
Yeah.
But you had a lot of thoughts. Do you like Dubai?
I'm enjoying Dubai. And
okay.
So one thought is so most Bravo shows don't do that well in the first season, with the exception of Salt Lake City, which was like a hit from the beginning.
Yeah.
But when we got Salt Lake City, we hadn't gotten a new show in ages. We were starved. We were frail, famished on the side of the road, and they gave us Salt Lake City. Like that show could have been strictly in the beauty lab parking lot, and we would have made it a ratings hit. And now you're right. And now we have all these things. We have crossovers. We have Winter House. We have Peacock, Miami. We have Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. So like by the time Dubai rolled around, we were full. we've been eating. We're like little fat kings at like the Bravo castle. We are possibly overfed.
I agree. There's a lot coming at us.
So you have more selection. So I feel like that could play, a role in why people aren't as excited. It's because you have all these other great things
We're
to look
just
forward
fat
to.
kings.
Little fat kings. The other thing is that I am pretty certain that either Dubai or the UAE is paying for like a pretty substantial portion of the show, because it feels like a giant advertisement, and like
For
Dubai does this often. Yeah, because Dubai, like they recently had Zac Efron, like Jessica Alba up there for like a mini action movie that was like really expensive. They do this all the time. They get these huge celebrities to come because they really want to promote Dubai tourism. So I'm certain that because a lot of it is just an advertisement. It's like, look at our indoor ski stuff. Look at this resort we have. Look at the mall.
Okay.
And that's
that
fine.
Makes sense.
I don't really, that doesn't bother me. But my thought is, because Dubai has very specific laws about like vulgarness and shouting and stuff like that. Like, I wonder if they then have to worry about how it's being presented. Because like, I don't know if you saw that episode with like Caroline Brooks and Sarah when they're fighting in the desert, and the producer steps in, and then it's just sort of like it gets cut.
There are just times when I'm talking about these shows where like I have an out of body experience and I hear like what we're really saying, and you just being like Caroline and Brooks having a fight in the desert. I was like, hang on a second, like, what is going on?
It was absurd. But again, I just worry about how it's affecting the show and whether Bravo has any limitations. And this is all conjecture. I absolutely know nothing about this.
Yeah, but anyway. You were really smart. So, like, you're an Esquire.
That's true.
You're a lawyer.
That's true. So I know everything about everything.
You wear many hats.
I'm a know-it-all. And maybe I do know it all.
Oh, Bethany's really on a tear on TikTok. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I watch every single one.
I'm going to send her some Easy Jude.
What are your thoughts on Sergio?
Oh, Sam, don't do this to me on air.
Why? Why? What do you mean?
Because that man is not a man. Let's start there. He's a boy.
Oh, he's a boy.
He's a twink. And it's just
and you can say that.
He is the last person I would ever picture Caroline Stanbury with. Like, she needs a man. She needs like
her ex-husband.
Yeah, exactly. She needs another of that. Not this. He annoys her to no end. He has too much energy. He's just wildly insecure, codependent. Like, she is the antithesis of all those things. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I just don't buy their relationship. Like, when I see them together, I don't see the chemistry. I just don't see it.
No, it gives me
and
like
their Instagram is real weird together.
Yeah. It seems like Marlo taking care of her like nephews, honestly. Same vibe.
I really want the best for them. The boys.
Oh, the boys. I was like, for Caroline.
Not for Caroline and Sergio. No, they need to get an annulment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Okay.
Please tell me about these games. I'm literally dying to know.
I was going to categorize them into like specific things, but I didn't because who has the time? So I just have some questions.
Okay.
You can choose to answer, or you can say, you can plead the fifth.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So we shall start.
Okay.
So you get a lot of behind the scenes tea from various sources.
Uh-huh.
Who is a housewife that people think they know, but that you're like, that's not really who they are? Like, based on info that you've gotten that maybe never made it to air.
Okay. Tinsley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't. I assume I can't ask why.
There's just I don't think people like what I was saying earlier about how people I think forget that Bravo is like a corporation. Like, they're not just out here. This isn't like a documentary, an indie, doc. I think people also forget that there's like a whole production aspect behind these shows.
Sure.
And like, you have to, if you're going to be a good housewife, like, you have to come ready to like share your life. And I think we're seeing that like with Rinna, like, people are tired of her not really sharing anything about like her actual life. And Tinsley was like that. And there's a lot of things that went on behind the scenes with Tinsley in her personal life that allegedly that really should have been talked about. I think it would have been really important, really impactful. I think it could have helped her. It could have helped other people. And I just...
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But I'm excited to have her back, honestly. I'm excited to have our girls back.
Is she for sure?
I'm pretty sure she's,
okay.
Allegedly, for sure. Like, one of those.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
You wake up in the middle of the night, startled because there's a man standing at the foot of your bed. You realize it's Andy Cohen, and he says, Sam, I'm making you an executive producer on Potomac. However, we've lost 20% of our budget, and we need the next season to be a rating success. You have to let go of either Karen or Giselle.
And they want it to be a success?
Yeah, so like we need the next season to...
Oh, they need like the money, so they have to fire someone?
Yeah, they have to let someone go, and on top of that, they're like, we need the absolute best season, just at a lower cost. So who do you?
So we got to fire a big player. Okay, wow. Who would you pick?
I think Giselle.
I'm leaning towards getting rid of Giselle.
Yeah, I think I would probably get rid of Giselle just because I love Karen so much.
I
do think Giselle.
No, but I love Giselle.
Storylines. Yeah, she's a storyline maker.
Yeah, so Karen just makes me laugh because I feel like we would have enough storyline to get us through with like Ashley and Michael or Candace and her mom or like Mia and whatever Mia's got going on.
Yeah.
Remember her husband? Remember he was like licking his lips? That was really crazy. Yeah, so I would pick Giselle to go, which is really devastating. I can't believe you just made me do that and have it recorded.
Okay, moving on. If Eileen from Beverly Hills was still around, which is a game I like to play often, what do you think her role would be, both with this Erica like legal stuff and this Rinna unhinged stuff? Because she was part of their little white women Destiny's Child group.
No, she would be Garcelle's friend. Because they probably know each other in the industry forever. She was I'm rewatching the season right now, the Munchausen season, with Rinna obviously doing whatever she did with Yolanda. And Eileen was like very against it. Was very not on board, was like, this is not okay. Like, why do you think Yolanda is like manipulating everybody right now? Like, it's really, really weird. And I think she would be bummed to see like what has become of the ladies. Yeah, sure. And I think she would ultimately be on the side of like the right side of history. Justice. Yeah, the side of justice. Exactly.
I completely agree with you.
I miss Eileen. I'm going to say it. I miss that bitch.
She was an angel in a jumpsuit.
She was in that denim jumpsuit when she went like this in that jumpsuit. I was like, I loved her. Iconic. Fun fact about Ivan and I, and forgive me, maybe I'm making this up. I don't think I am, but we were never an Erica Jane. We were never Erica Jane people, and that was a hot take for a long time. Like you and I were fighting the good fight. We were like, there's something off.
The trenches.
There was gangrene.
Armorless.
We were armorless. Like we were truly fighting for our lives. And we were, again, a hot take coming at you guys with some hot takes, some old ones too. We were Team Dorit during Pantygate.
I know. People
aren't ready for that. They're not
ready
for the facts.
People can understand it now, but not then. We were ahead of our times.
People... Back then, it was really crazy. It was like guerrilla warfare over this. Like,
you know what line I think about often that she said that I feel like didn't make it to like cups and shirts, but it should have. But at one point, I forget who she yells at. I think it was Erica or Rinna, and she goes, "If I can smell your breath, you're too fucking close." I don't know why I love that.
That was to Rinna. And then PK, he like stepped in and he was like, "You're inherently cold." Like, it's so good. And she had that gold foil hair and like looked fucking crazy. And I loved it. Like, and I'm sorry, like, I don't think it was a big deal that she brought Erica panties. It's a joke. No, Erica takes herself so fucking serious. Erica was the downfall of Beverly Hills.
In Dorit's culture, you bring people panties. I don't know which culture.
She's a child of the world.
Yeah. So in one of her cultures, I know for a fact you bring people panties.
Yeah. We just don't know which one.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. You're shopping at Home Goods on a Tuesday, like you usually do, because that's when it's empty. And a worker starts trying to get your attention right by the oversized rugs. He's like, Sam. And that's when you realize it's Andy Cohen. He's undercover because
Why
he needs to
is
talk to
Andy
you.
Cohen at Home Goods? Okay. Andy Cohen is undercover at Home Goods, hanging out by the large rugs. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has one question for you only.
Okay.
He's like, hey, I've seen your LVP post as of late. Should we actually bring her back, or do you think you're just romanticizing what she could have been?
Oh,
And this is bring her back with the. Okay.
I'm romanticizing who she was.
Okay.
Because it's one of those, it's like Aviva. Like, I look back on the Aviva years and I'm like, I fucking love her. Like, she was crazy. She got her inhaler. Like, she was nuts. She threw a leg.
Cussing in front of kids.
Yeah, when she was like, keep it down. And then she was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, I love her. Like, she was so unhinged. And I really just think Lisa, when she was good, she was really great. And she fell off. And that makes me sad. Like, she lost her magic.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll even be at BravoCon.
Probably not. They probably can't afford her. No offense.
Yeah. No. None taken, Sam.
Yeah.
None taken.
Are you going to BravoCon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I'll show you there. Speaking of, so you're in New York City for BravoCon. You get into your cab and you realize someone else got into the cab on the other side.
Is it Andy Cohen? Is he the cab driver?
No, it is none other than Rachel Smith, the Senior Vice President of Development at Bravo, which I had to look up.
Okay.
And she says, listen, bitch, I've been drinking with Dorinda since last December, and I totally forgot to think of any new shows.
Okay.
What do you want to see more of on Bravo? Like, is it more Housewives? Is it more competition shows, more crossovers, NYC Prep? You want to see Tabitha take over something else? Like, what do you want?
I would love more shows like we used to have where it was like Tabitha Salon Takeover, the Rachel Zoe Project. We had Flipping Out. There was like more shows other than like these ensemble casts. Like, I liked kind of following like this one person and their kind of like crazy world. You know, I don't need like a Southern Charm, a Vanderpump Rules. Like, I don't want any more of that. I feel like something really fun, like, you know, Tabitha Salon Takeover, like, bring her back. Like, she was really ahead of her time. Honestly, Rachel Zoe is one of the most underrated Bravo celebrities of all time. She gave us Brad Goreski, which to some people is a blessing, others it's a curse. I would like to see like more of that.
Tabitha's like government takeover, and we like throw her into CDC. She can, like,
yeah.
And you know what? You don't have to include that part.
No, please.
You don't. You absolutely.
We're keeping it in. We're keeping in Tabitha's government takeover. You know, I mean, she'll be next in line.
Oh, okay. And then, so Rachel Smith, you know, whatever, Senior Vice President of Development, blah, blah. Right before she gets out of the cab, she looks at you. She goes, hey, should we bring Carol back for Legacy?
Carol Radziwill?
Yeah.
Bring her back.
Bring her back.
I love her.
Mm-hmm.
I love her, and I really go back and forth with the Bethany Carol thing. Like, in the moment, I was so team Bethany, and then I rewatched, and then I became team Carol, and now I'm kind of team just like, what the fuck happened? Would you bring her back?
Sad. I think I would if I was looking at the old seasons. I think her
early
last
days
season was a little bit rough, and she was pretty angry oftentimes, and I get why she wasn't being portrayed the way she wanted to be portrayed, but it's also like, you got 4 years of being portrayed amazingly. Like, everybody loved you. So it's like, you're always going to get your turn at like the shitty seat. And I feel like she just hated that seat so much. And had she just sort of leaned into it, stuck around, she probably would have been on the up the next year. You know what I mean?
If she didn't tell Andy Cohen that he was full of shit and like then go on like a rampage about Bravo after, I feel like she could come back, but I don't think we'll ever see it.
No, I don't think we'll ever see Carol Radziwill ever again.
I will be really shocked. I've been seeing a lot online about Dorinda coming back for Legacy, and I honestly would be shocked.
She's not.
I can't imagine that. Unless she's like in some, I don't know, unless she does like a lot of soul searching. I can't picture that, but maybe she will.
Yeah.
Ramona seems very unbothered. She's like an aspen shaking her ass.
I mean, she's always been sort of unbothered. She has no tether to reality.
No, God, I wish I was like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound nice? I like really look at people that like aren't self-aware, like they're like kind of ignorant, and I wish I was like that. I feel like it's just like ignorance is bliss, you know?
I think it's a key to both success and happiness.
Yeah.
Because like the less you know, the happier you'll be, and also like you'll throw yourself into situations where it's like a normal person would be like, that's gonna be so cringe, and they're like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Who would you rather raise you,
Oh,
Marge Senior or Mama Elsa?
that is so cruel. Like, I love Marge Sr., but I don't think she was a very good. She did the best she could. I'll say that. I think she did the best
Okay.
she could. But I would like to be raised by Mama Elsa. I feel like I'd be raised with a lot of wisdom
A lot of laughs
and
giggles,
money, crystals, glow. Like she always had those like a crystal ball type of thing.
Yeah.
Very spiritual.
Okay, same question, but trauma edition.
Oh, okay.
Who would you rather raise you, Mama D or Dale Mercer?
Mama D or Dale? Oh, both their daughters are extremely stunted. But who's more stunted? I would go with Dale.
Yeah.
I feel like Dale is like less mean. Like she doesn't like I don't think Mama D likes Deandra at all. Like I don't think
right.
Mama D
she
is
was like overtly cruel.
Cruel to her daughter.
And I think Dale's is maybe rooted in like goodness, and she's
she's just a helicopter mom.
Right, and she wants you to lose weight, so you'll find a suitor, and you're like,
it's
the
like
best route.
Yeah.
Okay. Name one housewife who is definitely smarter than you, and one housewife who is probably not.
Oh, okay. Smarter than me, literally. Oh, Bethany Frankel, Carol Radziwill, Vicky Gunvalson. I think Vicky is actually really smart in business. I don't think she's very smart in other areas of her life, but she ran that Kodo. Yeah. She's running Kodo for like 25 years.
For sure.
And the housewife who's dumber than me is like Teresa.
Okay. Yeah, we hate to say that.
Who has a podcast, and I'm not one. I love podcasts. I love bring on all the podcasts. I think it's a great thing for everybody, but I don't know if I really want to hear what Teresa has to say.
No, she needs a ghost talker.
She needs a ghost talker.
Okay, this one's tough.
Oh boy.
Okay, and I'm almost at the end in case you're like, please wrap this up. Shit.
No, I like it. It's good. Who do you think? Wait, who do you think is smarter than you, and who do you think is dumber than you?
I mean, I feel like I agree with all your answers.
Okay.
Definitely Bethany and all this. I'm trying to think who's dumber than me. I brought up a list to see who was dumber than me. Leanne Locken, dumber.
Dumber.
Yeah.
Remember her dress, her like 52 ways to wear or something?
Yeah. That was not great.
It was crazy.
I'll just leave it at that. I don't necessarily know.
I'm going to say it. I don't think Lisa Hochstein's very smart.
Oh, that too.
And I honestly, love Lisa.
Anyone who's voting red is fine.
You can say that. You can
shame, I wasn't
Republicans
on this
podcast.
Okay, anyone voting red probably lacks some.
So like 90% of the housewives.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I want to change my answer to 90%.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what is really fun? Like an interesting fact. I'm not going to say a fun fact. Is that during the season, I want to say 8 or 9 of New York, when there was like the election, and they went around. Andy Cohen, do you remember this? He went around at the reunion, was asking people like who they voted for. Because it was like so politically charged that season. Because like obviously we saw it. Trump won, everything like that. And it got to Luann. And Luann said, I'm not going to say. So everyone just assumed that she voted for Trump. But actually, public record states that she voted for Hillary and donated more than Carol.
What?
Shocking.
This is the biggest bomb we've dropped.
Yeah.
All episodes.
I know. Because Andy Cohen even was like, oh, so it's like 50-50 split with like the cast, like who voted for what. And he just assumed Luann obviously voted for Trump because she didn't want to say.
Wow.
But she didn't.
I love that.
Luann is actually very progressive. And I think people...
I was going to say, she lived in Europe for so long.
Do you remember her Where Were They Before They Were Stars or something? And Luann did hers, and they were like, she fell down a mountaintop and she had to carry her kids, and the Swiss Air Patrol or Snow Patrol had to come.
She was a game show host in Italy. She was a model. I listened to a podcast once with Andy, or I listened to something with Andy, and he talked about, someone was like, why did that show not keep going? Like,
please tell me.
He's like, you guys made like 3 of those and stopped. And he's like, we quickly realized that the other housewives' backgrounds weren't as layered as the ones we chose at the beginning. He's like, there's a reason we went to Luann first and like whoever else.
I think they did Nene too.
He's like, but after that, he's like, it got a little bit, it would have been a little bit too brief.
Yeah, it would have been like a 10-minute show, just like quick, like during commercial. Who's a housewife that you would want to hear their like life story? I'm really intrigued by Sonia's. I find there's so much there. Andy Cohen played a game on Watch What Happens Live with her where he was like, which celebrity do you know? And she knew like all of these people.
Yeah.
And
but
like,
I would want her attached to a lie detector test just so we can see.
I need proof. Like there's gotta be photos, video.
Some accountability.
Yeah. Something like that. Wow. This is like really a trip down memory lane with you, Ivan. I'm really enjoying this.
Me too.
And you look so good.
It's a huge light right in front of my laptop.
It's yeah, I mean, you're talking to me. I'm literally blurred out. I have like my ring light and I'm sitting in front of a window.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say Chanel from Dubai also has like a very interesting background.
She does. She worked for Fenty.
Did she?
She knew Rihanna. She worked for Fenty.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. She opens up so much on the show, and there's still so much there.
Mm-hmm. There's still so I've heard. Who's your least favorite on Dubai?
Probably the boring one, Nina.
Yeah, when I was watching, I wasn't really captivated. I do think she's absolutely beautiful. I think everyone on that cast is like beyond gorgeous. But I also think Sarah's got some darkness to her.
Yeah, except I can't criticize Sarah too much because I feel like I am a little bit of a Sarah.
Why do you think you're... Let's talk about this. I am so intrigued. What housewives do you think you're most alike? You think you're Sarah?
I've always wanted to be... So I used to love, and you know this, Heather Thompson.
Oh, like, guys.
I was a...
He was
holla mama.
He was a holla mama.
I had the merch. I started the club.
He really was. Because you don't understand.
I loved how protective she was over Carol specifically, but really all her friends, and she really went to bat for them. And I feel like
she's a mama bear.
Yeah, I can have a very sometimes like combative personality, but I think I try to be like cautious about how I use it, and I feel like I saw that with her too, where she used it more for other people.
She
versus
wielded
like
it for good.
Yeah, so I feel like in an ideal world, I'd want to be like a Garcelle / Heather because I feel like they both have similar.
But you are self-aware, traits. So you do know that you do have some Sarah maybe in you.
So I have a lot of Sarah in the sense that she's very not like faux optimistic. She preaches a lot and like gives people a lot of advice, and then like
necessarily doesn't take
has a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of blind spots, and I feel like I have a lot of blind.
Guys, this is really just a podcast about just being self-aware, honestly, because Ivan's a self-aware king. I think I'm most like, and this, I mean, it pains me to say, I'm a Shannon.
You think so?
I got a lot of Shannon in me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you know that I used to really dislike Shannon, and then this last season happened, and now like I would lay my life down for her too.
I love her.
Maybe not that much. Yeah,
I wouldn't lay my life down for her. I have a lot of Shannon in me. I also have a lot of like early season Carol where that's how.
Ooh, I see that.
I do. Like I'm very like gray area vibes.
You hold a lot back, which I feel like Carol did too.
Yeah.
Like you're very trepidatious. You're observing a lot. How much do I share? How much do I give?
But then I have another side of me. And it's the Bethany side.
Like bitchy?
Or Ramona or something. Like bitchy, witchy.
Oh. Bitchy, witchy.
Like evil.
Carlton.
My empath told me that. He said, you have two sides to you. You have a fairy ethereal side, like very woodsy ethereal. And then you have this other side was like a witch. And I was like, oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
I
drag
hope it's a good
me.
witch. It's a good witch.
Ivan, the game was so much fun, but I want to talk to you about your latest endeavor, and I want to pick your brain, your entrepreneurial brain.
Okay.
So Ivan has just come out with a face oil, and I used it this morning and last night. And I have to tell you, and I'm not even just saying this because you're my friend, because I probably just like wouldn't have had you on the podcast if I didn't like it. Is it? I have dry skin, and it really kind of like penetrated my skin, but it didn't leave it like oily because I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like so proud of you. And I want to know, like, how did you get started? Because I know people maybe who are listening are interested in starting like their own company, their own business. They have a product that they want to get out. But like, how did you really do this?
So I started it because every month I would take my little hard-earned little pennies to Sephora and to get my goods. And one
You would
day,
take your
like
little pennies.
my pennies to Sephora. And it struck me one day when I was in there, I was like, oh, like nothing in this store is meant for me. Like it wasn't made with me in mind. It's not even marketed to me. Like these people aren't even like searching for me. You know what I mean? Like, so I realized then, like I realized in that moment, like in my entire life of being like an active beauty consumer, like I have never, not once, bought a product that was speaking to me, marketed to me, like had me in mind whatsoever. Which is like a very depressing thought. Like imagine if every time you walked into Sephora, it was like no one looked like you. They weren't even like trying to get you. You know what I mean? Like it's just like this is very sad that I'm doing this. And I had been using on the same token, like a lot of people think gay men are, or like I guess people in the queer community are like very into skincare and like always on the latest thing. But like that's rarely the case because I feel like a lot of people end up feeling very intimidated by Sephora and like what I just talked about with like not feeling like it's their space. So I had sort of put those two things together and I had been mixing my own face oils for quite a bit of time. So I was like, I'm going to do something that at least like speaks to other people, maybe that don't look exactly like me, but sort of like, I don't know, whatever misfits or people that aren't
the island of misfit toys.
100%. So this was like what, 2.5 years ago. I remember I called you with the idea. You were so supportive and you were so sweet.
I was so excited because whenever, like, I remember like 2 years ago, maybe I was like, my skin is truly going through it. And you were so kind and you sent me like some stuff that I still use. Like I rebuy it, like I repurchase because it really, really helped me. So like, I know that you know what you're talking about. So yeah, I was just like so excited for you. And you called me.
And I was like, okay, so I'm going to do this. And I had a little bit more time during the pandemic. And I didn't want to, at least for my first product, like I think I didn't want to give people like a 9-step process because that can be really overwhelming. So I was like, what can I do?
Skin by Kim.
Yes, exactly that. And like we have our mutual friend Matt who like didn't even know what a moisturizer was. And this is a gay man living in West Hollywood. And in the epicenter of West Hollywood.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, okay, like I'm going to help. And like even like my partner, like not really into skincare. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do one thing that's like easy and that people can like do. And so I quit my little legal job. I put all my pennies that I had left over into this. And I'm in my Bethany Frankel in a bakery era. Like I am.
You are Bethany Bakes.
100% right now. Like I'm walking around that like, do you have a minute for skincare? Can I offer you a few drops?
No, I mean, everyone starts somewhere. And I think that that's something that's so important to remind everybody is like, no one just like wakes up one day and is like a mogul. Like you got to hustle. And I think that that's what you're doing. And I think it's great. And the packaging is truly beautiful. Like I didn't know that you had this side to you. I've known you for years, Ivan. I've known you for too many years. And I had no clue that you were this like artistic, like creative genius.
I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the compliment. I wouldn't go that
far. The
bottle
is stunning. The box. I mean, it even came in like the packaging was really nice. Like it came in like a green, like bag type sealable bag. What's that thing called? A bag. Sure. And then a bubble box. Mailer. Thank you. It came in a beautiful green bubble mailer, and the box was beautiful. Like it's so stunning.
Thank you, Samantha.
You're welcome.
also, I guess to answer your first question even more directly, because you asked me about like what would I say to other people, like one is like I was very scared. I mean, I'm still very, very terrified. Like I don't necessarily have like a fallback plan, but I don't regret it. And I truly like I know everyone talks about this, but it's like when you quit your job to pursue something like this, you end up working like twice or triple the amount. It's 100% true. Like I have no life whatsoever anymore. All I do is this all the time, but I'm infinitely happier. Like before, one work hour was
you
like
were mizzy.
hell.
You
and now miserable. Like there's not enough hours in the day, and I don't mind working through dinner. Like I don't know. It's if people are out there and like they want to do it, like I don't think they'll regret it from the sense of like happiness. Like it does feel very fulfilling. And I heard a really good quote on TikTok that I'll share. That was like, what if I told you that you are only 25 no's away from like complete happiness, complete success, like from where you want to be? You would be eager to go and collect those no's. Like you would be eager to go and collect that rejection because you would know that like, on the other side of that is like where you want to be.
Like something really great. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people get very discouraged once they hit a few no's or a few, difficult points. And I feel like keeping that in mind has been, I don't know, just like helpful. Like I look forward to like getting those rejections or hitting those like speed bumps or getting the no's or whatever. Cause it's like, okay, let me collect 25 of these, keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really just so proud of you. And I think it's really inspiring because you had like a very corporate job before this. Like, and now you're doing something that like you're really passionate about and that you love. And I think it's really amazing.
Can I drop the name? I just realized I haven't said the name.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my God. I haven't said the name either.
Maybe you did and I forgot.
Okay. Clearly, like I'm not a marketing genius. So, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us the name and like how you got the name.
Of course. So it's called Easy June. You can go to easyjune.com. You can also find me on Instagram and soon to be TikTok.
You're going to be doing TikToks? Well, yeah, you got to. Yeah, you have to start.
I have to start. Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok is so scary.
Yeah. And I just got the name from like the idea of like, so typically June is considered Pride Month. And I like the idea of like, I don't know, an easy June sort of like being emblematic of like an easy life and like, I don't know, just like accepting how things are and moving with the flow. And I don't know, just sort of encompassing that. I think a lot of alternative lifestyles and people are often portrayed in this like tragic way or like it's all about the difficulties and it's all about the hardships and those type of things. And I really like the idea of just like, it's not always that. And it's okay to be portrayed in a good light, in a positive light, like just the idea of an easy June.
Yeah. That's so sweet. Like I've never heard you say this before. And I feel kind of bad now. I'm like, wow, I'm a bad friend. I didn't ask.
No.
But I mean, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to share with the people?
No, just visit easyjune.com. And I had 2 final questions for you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What are they? Who would you rather have sex with, Brandy or Denise?
Oh, what? Brandy or Denise?
Brandy or Denise?
Denise.
Denise. Okay, I think so too.
Because I feel like she'd be crazy, but not like blood sucking.
Yeah, and then I saved my hardest question for last.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared.
So
this is at their best season, so not current, but like at whatever you think constitutes their best season individually.
Okay.
So fuck, marry, kill, Potomac, Beverly Hills, New York. At their best.
At their best?
Yeah. So like pick the best season of each.
Potomac, Beverly Hills, or New York?
Yeah.
Ivan, that is so sick. Like I can't even believe you're doing this to me. I would fuck Atlanta for sure.
I didn't say it. Wait.
You didn't?
No.
No, New York, Beverly Hills.
It was Potomac.
Whoa, that was like really telling. Okay, I was sorry. Atlanta.
I mean, we can throw Atlanta in and replace New York.
No, okay, so it's Potomac, Potomac, Beverly Hills, and New York. Okay, so sorry. I would marry New York because of just the longevity of their seasons. I feel like they had like the longest run of like perfect seasons.
Yeah.
I would fuck Potomac because I feel like they're fun and crazy and like the good seasons are really, really juicy and like good time. Yeah. And I would kill Beverly Hills because their good seasons are really depressing and riddled with like suicide.
Sam, that was completely the right answer. That's exactly what I would have said to you too.
Really?
Yeah. I put my little
Oh my
answer there.
God. I was curious what yours would have been. I thought you were going to marry Beverly Hills.
No. Your logic was on point.
Yeah. Because I mean, the good seasons are like someone killed themselves.
Right.
Someone has Munchausen's / Lyme disease. Someone is being sued for
tearing women down. And we love to uplift here. We love to uplift.
This is an uplifting space. Women supporting women always, even though I do find myself pitting women against each other constantly. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Ivan. Tell everybody where they can follow you and purchase Easy June.
Sure. So you can follow me on Easy June on the Easy June Instagram, which is at Easy June. You can also visit the site, which is www.easyjune.com.
Beautifully curated, by the way.
Very beautiful. Or you can follow me on my personal Instagram, which is Ivan Saenz, which is SAENZ29. Thank you guys. It was very, very fun.
Yeah, thank you. And then, of course, please rate, review, and subscribe where you ever listen to podcasts. And follow me at Bravo Historian on Instagram and at Take Yours Left on Twitter. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.